Hello, friends. I hope you all are enjoying your online learning. And today I'm I'm here with your lesson number 2, A Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. In this lesson, he explained what is the importance of freedom for them, especially being a black people, what kind of fight they give to get their freedom back, and what price they have paid to get their freedom. As we all know that English people or British people ruled over most of the part of the world, as they also ruled over us for 200 years, and how we suffering from their mentality or from their attitude of superiority, and how they always make us feel that we are inferior to them, we are less civilized, less cultured than them, and it creates a big effect on the mind of the human beings. So today in this lesson we will learn how Nelson Mandela fight for their fight for his country and the freedom of the country. Okay, about the author. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. He was born in 18 July 1918, 5th, and died in 5th December 2013. Here he put a very good quote. He says that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. He shows the importance of education, that how education is important for everyone's life. It will help you to change the world because it will help you to change you. Remember, every change begins with one's own self. If you want to bring the change, then you have to be the change. Then and then you will be able to bring that change in this society or in this world. So, and education is the powerful weapon to help you to improvise yourself. It gives you a betterment. It carves you in a better way. So, education is the powerful weapon which can help you to change the world or improve your society or your world. He was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary political leader and philanthropist. Philanthropist, it means a rich person who helps the poor and those in need, especially by giving money. Kind of a परोपकारी व्यक्ति और लोकोपकारक और ज़रूरतमंदों की सहायता करने वाले. The simple meaning of philanthropist, who served as the president of South Africa from 1994 to 1990. He was the country's first black head of state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. As we all know that Africa got freedom after us, and he ruled by English governors so many years. So he was the first black president who elected by their democratic society or democratic election. His government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid by tackling institutionalized racism and fostering racial reconciliations. Ideologically an African nationalist and socialist, he is also nationalist and socialist, not only the president of South Africa. He served as the president of the African National Congress ANC party from 1991 to 1997. This is the general information about the author. Okay, and he is a freedom fighter first, and then he become the president. So he understand the value of the freedom. Long Walk to Freedom, that is the name of your chapter. long walk to freedom. As we all know that they ruled over us, Britishers ruled over us 200 years. We fight for 200 to get back our freedom. So it's really a long walk to freedom, and they fight more than us. They get their freedom very lately, I think after 2000 maybe, perhaps. So our fighting and their fighting are such a long to get their freedom. And here it is a very good quote by Nelson Mandela: it always seems impossible until it's done. Every time, whenever you are facing some challenges, it seems like impossible. If you have set a particular goal and you feel that if you want to achieve, then so many hurdles are there, and until you achieve that goal, you will you will always feel that it seems too hard or impossible until you did that particularly, until you achieve. And after achieving that, you feel that that is seems impossible, but to achieving something is not really impossible. Yes, it is hard to achieve, because things are not like that you can get easily without hard working. But whenever you achieve something in your life, whether it is a first rank in your exam, you know how much preparation you needed for that. If you get some higher post in any kind of institution or any kind of field, then you also know that how much potential, how much efforts you put after that, and that efforts makes you whatever you are. So he says that it always seems impossible until it's done, until it's achieved. It's not done till the time we feel that it is very much impossible to achieve. And he says that all things are impossible until they happen, and then they become inevitable. Okay. And he got a very good quote: a winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Until you achieve your dream, you have to put the efforts, the infinite efforts to get the things. And a winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Never gives up. Okay. Never think that I won't do it. Do efforts, find some ways, but until you reach your goal, don't uh, don't feel hesitate, don't feel like you lose the things. Never leave your hope, and fight until you get your dream. Come to the introduction. This chapter is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, because it is a story of Nelson Mandela's freedom, and we find that this is an autobiography element or extract from this Nelson Mandela, who was born in 18 July 1918, the first black president of South Africa. Experts from excerpts from Long Walk to Freedom include descriptions of the inauguration ceremony, citation from his speech, his journey to being a freedom fighter, the struggle, along with a tribute to other freedom fighters and countless other people who fought for their freedom. Freedom can't be achieved by the one person only. Freedom is the thing you get with the help of your own people, your own country people, their wish to get the freedom back, their wish to live free. And so many bloodsheds were spread, and then you will get the freedom. So without what we can say, that without spreading bloodsheds, you won't get your freedom. So it's a really a big responsibility or a big task to get freedom of your country. And he is in this lesson, he the description included the inauguration ceremony, citation from his speech as being a president. His speech was also cited in this, his journey of being a freedom fighter, from a common man to a great freedom fighter, a struggler, along to tribute to other freedom fighters and countless other people who fought for their freedom. Being a freedom fighter, what he suffered, what he feels, what he passes through, what are the other what are the other freedom fighters' situation, how they inspire him, and countless people who are fought for the freedom of their country. In South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was followed. Apartheid refers to the discrimination between people on the basis of their race. Race means jati. જેના ઉપર with the in the concept of race they are putting biases. For an example, discrimination. They treated black people as an animal. They don't even counting or consider them as a human being. They consider them as a jungly or as a uncivilized people, uncultured people, and try and create some biases and discriminations on the basis of that they are not even given the basic rights of their. They don't get respect from the others, from the white people. It was one of the most brutal societies where dark skinned people were deprived of their basic rights. As I told you, they don't have even basic rights. This lesson gives us an overview as to how Nelson Mandela, along with the others, carved their way to a society where there will be no discrimination on the basis of their color, their caste, their race, age, or a gender. As we all know that in this patriarchal world, gender issues are there. Boys can do some certain things, similarly girls can't do. So this is called gender issues. And if we have these gender issues, if the supremacy considered the white society has such a kind of gender issues, then black have more gender issues than us. Their ladies are not as free as our ladies. Perhaps their identity were, we can say that, hide or pushed by their patriarchy. Okay, let's start with the text. May. Dawn bright and clear. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South African soil. Now, dawn means begun pleasantly, giving a sense of happy satisfaction or enjoyment of a day begin. Generally we can say that parade. Okay, beside beside, beside, to surrounded by dignitaries, a person considered to be important because of high rank or office. Sandstone, sedimentary rock consisting of sand or quartz grains commented together, typically red, yellow or brown in color. With the help of this kind of color stone, they made something. Amphitheater is an open air theater. Supremacy, the state of or condition of being superior to all others in authority, power or status. Okay, now come to the explanation. This 10th May was the day when Nelson Mandela sworn as the first black head of state, South Africa. It was after years of struggle that his anti-racist party came into power. Until then, the seat had always been occupied by white president. That is why the author referred to the day as a bright and clear. It was morning full of hope. Days before this date, many notable personalities started congratulating him on for his victory on these international leaders on South African soil. The ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheatre formed by the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Pretor- it this For the first time in the country's history, so many international leaders came together for the inauguration ceremony. The ceremony took place in the open circular building made of sandstones consisting of Union Buildings in the Pretoria city. For decades, this had been the seat of white supremacy. Now, it was the site of a rainbow gathering. Now, it was a site of rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic and non-racial government. He says that their country people now get the place to their politics, because up to this is the place of white supremacy, seat of white supremacy, not for the years but for the decades. And now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. And he says that now so many people with a different color, they are together at their amphitheater to install the South Africa's first democratic and non-racial government. It suggests that they are free from this ruling of English people, and now they are free to live the way they want to live, and they are free to rule over their own country. Okay. Only that lovely autumn day, I was accompanied by my daughter Zinani. On the podium, Mr. De Klerk was first sworn as the second deputy president. Then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as first deputy president. When it was my turn, I pledged to obey and uphold the constitution and to devote myself to the well-being of the republic and its people. Now come to the hard words. The deputy means second in command, sworn, given under oath or determined to stay in the role specified, and pledged means committed by a solemn promises. The author was accompanied by his daughter Zinani on his big day. First, the two vice presidents took an oath. Then, when his turn came, he committed to respect, protect, and abide by the Constitution and to devote his entire self into the welfare of the country. First, the two vice presidents took an oath, and then he took oath and abide by the Constitution, and he promised that he devoted his entire self into the welfare of the country. Now come to the third paragraph. To the assembled guests and the watching world, I said, today all of us do by our presence here confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. Liberty is there, but here newborn liberty, because liberty was there, but this liberty's rights was with this English supremacy, or we can say that with white people. Now they are given freedom by the white people, and that is why he says that newborn liberty. Out of the experiences of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. We who were outlaws not so long ago have today been given the rare privilege to be host to the nations of the world, on our own soil. We thank all of our distinguished international guests for having come to take positions with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. Now come to these hard words. Assemble means of people gather or together in a one place for a common person. Confer means grant, to grant someone. Glory, honor. Outlaws, because of its policy of apartheid, many countries had earlier broken off diplomatic relations with South Africa. Because of this ruling of white supremacy, there are such an issue happen that some of the countries cut their relations with the South Africa. On our own soil means on our own country. Possession, ownership, dignity, the state or quality of being worthy of respect. Here, this dignity is most important word for them because they are ill treated by the white supremacy. They are treated like an animal. Their behavior towards these black people was too rude that they don't even get respect from that white supremacy, that general respect from the others, and that is why dignity means a lot for them. Here, the author also mentions some parts of his speech where he said that everyone, by his presence, was giving rise to hope for a new beginning. Previous rulers were discriminatory and lasted for long, but the ones who are given the opportunity to rule now would stand up against discrimination. He is glad to host a ceremony with the presence of a global leaders. It is an achievement in itself. There was a time when South Africa, for practicing apartheid, lost all its international political relationships. Now, when there is no segregations on the biases of race and gender, other nations are happy to have healthy democratic relationships. Finally, they have come to power and they pledge to make everyone proud. He thanked everyone, especially the international leaders, for joining them in celebrating their achievement, which is a step towards an equal society where every human will be treated fairly. The treatment is most important thing. If someone say in a rude tone, we won't be able to bear, and they constantly insulted by these white people, and now their fight is not only for the freedom of their country. Their fight is also for that their right to live with dignity and their right to treated fairly by the others. They fight for human. They fight for humanity. They fight for their dignity. We have at last achieved our political emancipation. We please ourselves to liberate all our people from the counting bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and the other discrimination. Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppressions of one by another. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Let freedom regain. God bless Africa. First, come to these hard words: emancipation, the fact of process of being set free from legal, social, or political restrictions. Liberate, free, release. Bondage, the state of being a slave. Discrimination, being treated differently or unfavorably. Deprivation, the damaging lack of material benefits considered to be basic necessities in a society. Oppressions, prolonged cruel or unjust treatment or exercise of authority. Glorious, having worthy of, or bringing fame or admiration. Regain, rule, govern. Now, in this, paragraph, he mentions that after great struggle, they have finally achieved political freedom. His government promised to free everyone of the still existing poverty, hardship, and inequalities of all king, along with assuring everyone of a country where no community will be considered inferior. Now there are two types of complexes are there. This is the psychological term. First is superiority complex, and second one is inferiority complex. Now in this superiority complex, people feel that they are superior, they are great than the others. And in similarly in this inferiority complex, people feel opposite from the superiority. They feel that they constantly feel that they are inferior to the others, so they are always treated ill treated, these people, and constantly they are taunting, and they are putting one thing on their mind, that they are inferior than white people because they are uncivilized, they are uncultured, they have no sense of living life, and the similarly way they are treated as an animal rather than the man, and they are not even given a proper respect, proper dignity that they have the right for that. He then exclaims that freedom should rule, and may God shower his blessing on their land. Come to the next point. Okay. He says that a few moments later we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South Africa's jets, helicopters, and troop carriers rode in the perfect information over the Union buildings. It was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy to a new government that had been freely and fairly elected. Only moments before, the highest generals of South African defense force and police, their chests badcacked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. Okay? He says that first go with this O. O means amazed, spectacular means beautiful in a dramatic and an eye-catching way. Array is an impressive display. Troop means soldier or armed forces. Precision means accuracy, and bedecked means decorate. Okay, just after the newly elected president's addresses to the audiences, an impressive arrangement of fighter jets, helicopter, and soldier transporters raised everyone's heads up in the sky. It symbolized perfection as well as military's respect and obedience towards the free country. The high commanders who have won medals for their bravery also saluted and promised their loyalty to the nation. It was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before they would not have saluted but arrested me. Finally, by a chevron of Impala, jets left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue, and gold of the new South African flag. Now, Mandela mentions that he was well aware that these commanders who were now saluting him would have arrested him under the previous rule as during the oppressive white supremacy. He was considered to be a criminal. The air show finally ended by making of the South African flag in the sky from smoke beneath the jets. We can see this in this picture, that how colorful smoke was free by these aeroplanes, and it creates such a beautiful atmosphere such a beautiful picture in the sky. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthems and, and the visions of white singing Noxie Ifrikra and black singing Steam, the old anthem of the Republic. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised, they would soon know the words by heart. Symbolized means a symbol of something. Lyrics, the words of a song. Despised means hated, had a very low opinion about something. Now, the author remembered that the day as the playing of two national anthem of the country, one of the white and the other of the black. Both the national anthem were singing by the people at the same time. On that day, no one knew the wordings of the anthem of the blacks, but Mandela was confident that everyone would soon learn this anthem that they once hated. He says that they hated their country, their culture, their people. So obviously they hated their national anthem. But though they set them free and they all are singing this national anthem of South Africa. And Mandela says that today they are not able to understand the words, but there is one day when they love this anthem and they know the meanings of the words. On the day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with a sense of history. In the first decades of the 20th century, a few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War and before my own birth, the white-skinned people of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned peoples of their own land. The structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhuman societies the world has ever known. Overwhelmed, have a strong emotional effect. Erected, build, construct. Racial domination, when people of one race have power over another race. Inhuman, cruel, brutal, overturned, reverse. On the day of inaugural ceremony, the author was remembering the days of past when his whole system of apartheid to part emerged. It resulted in inequality and inferior treatment of dark-skinned people by the white supremacy. They were deprived of their basic fundamental rights. You don't have enough their basic rights because of white supremacy. As a result, one of the world's most brutal and inhuman society was born. Now, in the last decades of the 20th century and my own 8 decades as a man, that system had been overturned forever and replaced by one that recognized the rights and freedom of all people, regardless of the color of their skin. And now, he says that this system created an atmosphere of extreme cruelty and injustice for a particular part of the community. Now, when he is in his 8th decades as a man, he, along with countless others, have changed this entire system that treats humans as humans irrespective of their color, caste, gender, or age. In the time of white supremacy, they ill-treated. They are not even treated as a human being. They are treated as a inhumans or irrespective of humans, or rather say that animal. And with the help of the so many people and efforts of Mandela's and the other freedom fighters, they achieve this system of treats human as a humans irrespective of their color, caste and gender and age. Now they create such a society or such a system which is bias free and every people give equal respect irrespective of their age, color, caste and gender. That day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of thousands of my people whose suffering and courage can never be counted or repaid. I felt that day, as I have known so many on so many other days, that I was simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before me. That long and noble line ended, and how began again with me. I was pained that I was not able to thank them, and that they were not able to see what their sacrifices had wrought. Unimaginable, difficult, or impossible to imagine. Patriots, a person who vigorously supports their country and is prepared to defend it against enemies, means fighters kind of a thing. Now, he says that this equal and free country was a result of sacrifice of countless other men and women who have fought all their lives for these days. The the author wishes if he could thank them all, but unfortunately they didn't live to see the results of their courage. Nelson Mandela gathered his courage and power from all these people and thus wishes to make them proud. He says that he is not only one who fight for his country. There are so many countless people who fought for this country, and they become inspiration of his fighting, of his goal. And he says that now I want to thank them, but they are not here, they are not live to see the result of their courage. The policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country. The policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country and my people. All of us will spend many years, if not generations, recovering from that profound hurt. But the decades of oppression and brutality had another unintended effect, and that was that it produced the Oliver Tambos, the Walter Sisslers, the Chief Luthels, the Yusuf Dados, the Bram Fitchkos, the Robert Subquist of our time, men of such extraordinary courage, wisdom, and generosity that their like may never be known again. The apartheid, the policy or a system of segregations on grounds of race, profound, very great or intense, unintended, not planned or meant. The operation policy scared many people, and it will take a long time for them to move on, the author. And he mentioned that this hard time had its negative impact, but it also exposed a lot of strong and courageous men who stood up and raised their voice. The name, as I have told this, Oliver Tambos, Walter Sisslers, Chief Luthels, the Yusuf Dados, the Bram Fitchers, Robert Subkos of their time. These are the such an extraordinary men of courage, wisdom, and generosity that their like may never be known again. They started this freedom, getting freedom kind of movements, and they start fighting. So these are a good courageous people of his time. Perhaps it requires such depths of operations to create such heights of character. My country is rich in the minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil, but I have always known that its greatest wealth is its people, finer and truer than the purest diamonds. What he says that mentions this hard time and its negative impact, but it also exposed a lots of strong and courageous men who stood up and raised their voice. Thus it requires the level of unjust treatment to proud such a great heroes. South Africa, he says, is rich in minerals and gems, but its greatest strength lies in its people. He says that my country is rich in minerals and gems that lie beneath its soils. Means their soil, we can say that uh, their land is very much good with the minerals and gems and fruitful land they have. But he says that the greatest wealth of any nation is their their people or its people, their nation's people. They are the greatest wealth, finer and truer than the purest diamond. They are more valuable. The country people is more valuable or as valuable like greatest diamond for their country, for their nation. Okay, so here we have uh, uh, we have and our learning here. That is a part 1. I will discuss the part 2 in the next chapter or in the next lecture. Till then, you can read this, try to understand it, and also you can solve the question answers from it if you guys have this PDF textbooks in your phones. I hope you enjoy and try to understand this lesson with the black mentality. As I told you that they don't have even basic rights, and they don't treated as a human beings. They treated as a as an animal. They are ill treated from this white supremacy. I hope you enjoy this lesson. Bye bye.